What's up, guys? This is a new Darklord build I've been working on, but before I get into the exact build, I just want to explain some of the rationale behind it and why I think this is the best variant of Darklords. And what it really comes down to is in Darklords, for a long time, I feel like our builds have been hamstrung. They've been limited by suboptimal normal summons, suboptimal cards that we run because they're Darklords, but they don't really do the job we want them to do. And recently I've been playing a lot of different decks. One of the decks I was playing was Danger Chaos Thunder Dragon. I don't know what you call it, whatever. Chaos Thunder Dragon. And I realized that that card had an insane route around that, because I feel like that deck had similar problems where they didn't have a lot of the mid-range monsters to facilitate combos, but they had a lot of the kind of high monsters, the big Titan and stuff that they would want to bring out. And Dark Lords fell for a similar problem, but in Danger Chaos Thunder Dragon, you don't need to play cards like Solar Battery Man, which all in all are kind of inadequate and slow starters. You can just chuck in these OP D-Link starters, so things like the engine to bring out Chaos Ruler, the Dark Demonic Dragon, the Baby Dragons in Chaos Space, and these give you a much easier route into having a competitive board going first, at least with Dark Lords. The other huge advantage obviously is Dark Lords don't use their normal summon, and also they can put random bodies on the board quite easily. So when you add in those two things as well, you end up with this deck that can just put out these absurd boards that you're seeing that I'm doing right now. And I really I think this is a better route for Dark Lords. It's also nice, another big advantage is that Dark Lords like being in the grave. So filling up your grave with Dark Lords is actually really huge. And again, this build is just really good at doing it. So as you can see from these test hands that I'm doing, it's a similar thing each time. It's really just getting to that Chaos Rule, the Dark Demonic Dragon is usually my early goal, and then filling up my grave with as much jank as possible, and then kind of playing into my opponent's board with 2-3 interruptions easily, plus a stacked graveyard, which is just really nice in this deck. But yeah, I definitely do think it's good, and I think in terms of Dark Lords, what do we need at the moment? We need a better normal summon. I thought for a very brief while that maybe Indulged and Capricious were good cards. Capricious is okay, but Indulged is a really bad Dark Lord card. I can't state it enough. It's so many things are wrong with it, and it's the kind of card that prevents Dark Lords from ever being close to meta. Like, it lets you play Dark Lords, but it will make it impossible for the deck to ever be competitive because it's just not good. It's giving your opponent an advantage. It's a normal summon, but it can't actually do anything on its own. I mean, everything about it, it's just such an inadequate card. I'd rather use another card every single time. Every time I see it in my hand, I'd rather just dump it in the graveyard. Specialing it from the graveyard isn't bad, but normal summoning it, nah, there's so many better normal summons. And I think in your Dark Lord builds, if you go about using a different card that's not indulged, I think you'll have a good time. I think you'll have a really good time in terms of what the potential you can draw out of this deck. Just because, yeah, it really does limit our builds. It really makes it hard for us to make good Dark Lord builds with that card. But yeah, I'm gonna go into my last replay, and then I will kind of show the build for this in another video, which will come out literally just after this. So make sure you stay tuned for that. It's going to be really awesome, and I'll explain kind of all of my tech choices and stuff, why I picked these specific cards and these specific starts of Dark Lords. But as you can see, these are the kind of boards that you're going to be making going first. You generally are vulnerable to 1 to 2 hand traps, but I mean, that's part of the risk of playing Dark Lords. The advantage is if you don't get kind of hand trapped to death, you are going to be making some pretty nice boards with some pretty solid follow up. And I will also be releasing some DB rated games with this deck in the future. But yeah, so after this, I'll do a quick snapshot of the deck, and then I'll have an in-depth profile of this deck coming out later on today. So let's quickly look at the deck. Here is the profile in case you just want to quickly take it. The YDK will be in the chat below as well, in the description if you want to download it. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace.